So, I have POTS. Okay, yes, it was the lowest denomination of dad humour I could possibly find. I'm sorry. Hello everybody and welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 tips for dealing with POTS. So if you haven't heard of POTS, it's a condition that affects the heart and the nervous system, and it can cause symptoms like fainting, headaches, dizziness and breathlessness. But if you're here and you found this video, I expect that you probably have POTS anyway, so I don't need to give too much of an explanation. Now, we've all heard of the main top tips like drinking lots of water or trying to incorporate more salt into your diet. So for these 5 tips, I've tried to find the most unique ones possible that you might not have heard of before. So tip number 1 is to carry around with you a small picnic blanket. This could even be one of the waterproof material ones or a raincoat. For me, this just gives me so much extra security because we all know what it can be like if you have a POTS episode when you're outdoors and you might just need to lie down. So it's really nice to have that there. So if you are outdoors, you can just take a sit down or a lie down on the floor and recover from an episode. I think for me, when I go out, I often won't actually need to use it, but it just gives me so much extra security knowing that I have it there. So if something does happen, I would be able to just take a rest. So tip number 2 is to eat smaller meals and to potentially decrease your carbohydrate intake. And this is one that was recommended to me by my doctor. Obviously, if you're making any dietary changes or changes to your lifestyle, you should absolutely consult your doctor first. But what I will say is this was absolutely life-changing for me. So when you eat a meal, your body has to divert blood towards the digestive system in order to maintain that process. So by eating smaller meals, if you already have problems with blood pooling because you have a problem with your nervous system, that will really help to alleviate any symptoms that you may potentially get when you've eaten a meal. So number 3 is a bit more of an unusual one, but this could be trying to treat any underlying allergies or sensitivities or intolerances that you may have. So a lot of people, for example, with my condition, EDS, also have something called mast cell activation syndrome, which causes them to have a lot of allergies and sensitivities. And if you're having reactions quite frequently, many people find that this can actually be one of the biggest causes of their POTS. And for me, this was absolutely the case. So again, this will be one that you should absolutely speak to your doctor about. But by treating those underlying allergies, you may actually find that a lot of the POTS symptoms get relieved, such as high heart rate, fainting and dizziness. So tip number 4 is to get a medical card that explains your conditions and your symptoms. So I have one just like this. You can get some that are also just specifically for POTS that explain the condition and explain the symptoms that it causes and how it affects you. So this can be really helpful. For example, if you're out and about and you're standing in line and you need to sit down, or you potentially even need to skip the queue. I personally know that it can be really difficult when you're out and you're around people, and if you start to get symptomatic, it can cause a lot of anxiety as well. So just having that will be really helpful because you can show it to people. It's very clear, it explains your condition, you don't have to do all the talking, and then they'll be able to help you. And my 5th and final tip is actually to decrease the temperature of the water that you have a bath or shower in. So when I first got diagnosed with POTS, I knew that a trigger was to be standing up for a long period of time or doing lots of activity. But one trigger that I didn't realise in the beginning was actually temperature causes a really big difference to my symptoms. So I don't ever use a shower, I only have a bath because having a shower makes me faint too often. But actually decreasing the temperature of the bath and making it just slightly on the cooler side really helped my symptoms and prevented me from having an episode when I was in the bath. So thank you so much for watching my 5 tips for dealing with POTS. I hope there was potentially one or more that you haven't heard of before that could help you. If you have any of your own tips for dealing with POTS or any other chronic symptoms that you have, I would love to see them down below in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos about chronic illness. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.